Welcome back, guys. Happy Monday. It is Monday, December 6th, and we got the Monday market report for the week ending December 5th, so as of yesterday. I want to thank you guys for joining in on another one of these market videos where we explore some of the most notable modern post-1900 graded coins to have ended here in the last 7 days. We do these once every Sunday night or Monday morning. But really, it's a great temperature gauge check up of the market, and this week no exception. I think this week is probably going to be the kind of like the high tipping point of the month. Because usually between now and Christmas, we begin to see things wane a little bit as we get closer to the actual holiday time of Christmas and New Year's. Things kind of dip a little bit, but let's see where we're at. Because, again, anything has been but the typical market this year. I know there are certain areas of collectibles that have certainly dropped earlier in the year, right around like April and May. However, coins, currency, and PMs continue to drive forward, even though PMs have dropped a little bit. I think they're down to like $22 an ounce for silver. But in any event, if you're looking for very specific type coins, or perhaps if you're part of a registry set system that you're putting together, that seems to be the driving motivator for a lot of these. In addition to some of the investors that have come into numismatics to really park some money in these high-end coins, and we've seen on certain occasions here this fall, where supply has been dwindling while demand continues to push upwards. All right, so let's go ahead and jump right in. All of the listings this week are from Great Collections. All of the images courtesy of Great Collections, of course. If you're looking for a marquee item for your collection, go ahead and check them out. They do auctions every week. GreatCollections.com, and they're also your good source for any sort of consignment of some of your high-end coins that you're looking to move. All right, so let's go ahead and jump right into the first coin on the list. We are going to go in ascending order, starting out with the 1 cent denominations. We got 1971D. Lincoln Memorial Cents. So what in the world is this thing doing here on the Monday market report? Well, judging from the grade, Mint State 67 red, and that is, of course, graded by PCGS, this really only fits a certain need, and that's going to be a high-end Lincoln Cent registry. So there was a number of people that were battling back and forth to own this coin, and much to my surprise, this particular coin is part of the Ammo Man registry. Okay, it's a PCGS Lincoln Cent registry that was split apart on Great Collections this week. We've seen a number of registry sets get dissolved here recently. Really just folks that are completely done with their registry set collection. And furthermore, if the market is at its heightened point, at least that's what I'm aware of based off of the activity that we're seeing on the secondary market, then it's probably a pretty good time to start unloading and breaking up some registry sets. If and only if that, you're done with it, you've done whatever the maximum potential that you have in there. But this right here, Mint State 67 is the top of the heap. This one will certainly gain a lot of points in a registry set. And this one sold for $3,240. So we did have another 1969S doubled die obverse Lincoln Memorial Cent that sold this week. This time a PCGS Mint State 63 red example. It's even CAC certified, according to that little green bean that you see on the label there. But make no mistake about it, this one is a powerful statement piece in the collection, powerful double die. I mean, just look at the motto, "In God We Trust," look at Liberty, and the date. It's hard to mistake this for anything else. Even machine doubling has nothing on these, and that's a common occurrence on 69S's. But as you can see, it's a really good higher end piece. It's not the perfect piece. It does have a substantial carbon spot here right on the Sea of Scent on the reverse. So, I mean, if that doesn't bother you and it appears based off of the dollar figure that this sold for, then you know that this might be a piece you could add to your collection. This particular example sold for $36,000. The market is just simply strong on these. Every time one comes up, you know, they command a lot of attention and a lot of respect in the community. And, you know, for some of you that, you know, like to cherry pick and, you know, coin roll hunt and all that, this is, of course, you know, the bell cow of the searching kind of list. This one is definitely on the top 2 or 3 of any list of Lincoln memorials to look for. And we do have another registry set coin here on full display, this time a 62D. Now this one is a Mid-State 67 red. It used to be about as recently as 10 years ago. This used to be a really nice top pop coin. Examples have sold as high as $4,000 to $5,000 back in 2010, but a lot more of these have surfaced in the 67. I wanted to illustrate this to you by letting you guys know what this one sold for. I believe there's even a 67 plus out there in the census. So if you are a registry set owner and you're still looking for a coin of this caliber, you could get these for around $1,000. This example sold for $1,040.62. More registry set love here with a absolutely brilliant 1949. This is a Lincoln wheat cent back design. But take a look at the stats on this one. PCGS, Mid-State 67 plus, full steps. Now I did make a little bit of an error boo-boo on this one. Okay, this is actually the label for the nickel that's coming up later in the show. But this one right here was a 67. All right, not a 67 plus. Actually, you know what? Yeah, 67. It took me a second. The next coin's a 68. But this one right here also was CAC certified, where that nickel later on in the show is not. So pay no mind to the label. It's not even in Denver. However, this coin did sell for $2,081.25. Again, it's another registry set piece that belongs in that collection. You would not invest in stuff like this. There are a lot more, I guess, worthy coins that you could spend $2,000 on. But if you got BU rolls of these, might be a good opportunity for you to maybe grade a few if you think they're going to be graded this high. Now this is more like it. This is a Mid-State 6843 Steely that we find here. I mean, it's a nice shape. Looks like it came out of a roll, a BU roll at one point. 68 is, you know, it's a pretty nice grade, but it's not the top grade for this particular date. It's even CAC certified, where normally we see a lot of 68s in the marketplace, especially on great collections. Without the CAC certification, and believe it or not, that really does make a huge difference. We've seen about a $1,500 to $2,000 price swing from one with a CAC green bean and one without. This one right here sold for $4,500. So a pretty nice up premium because of that CAC sticker. And a 1920D Lincoln wheat cent. Lincoln memorials and wheats this week have been spectacular. They've been achieving new heights. How about this one right here that grades out a just stunning 65 plus full red, CAC certified as well. Keep in mind, these were produced during a time where quality control was really not that good. Anything, kind of like Depression era type of coins, you're going to see a lot of mushy strikes. You're going to see a lot of undesirable planchets with nicks and carbon spotting and all that. That's even before the coins are even struck. This one exhibits nice broad shoulders. That rim is quite thick on there. It looks almost like a proof type of rim, which they have that just very thick rim on there. But yeah, this is what a 65 plus looks like on a 1920s era Lincoln wheat cent. This one sold for $4,051.12. And the final Lincoln cent of the bunch is how about a much tougher 13D? Now, keep in mind, A branch mint, D or S Lincoln wheats of the teens are quite just about impossible to find in full red. But yet here we have a pretty nice 66 plus full red. I mean, this is a monster of a coin. To add a little icing to the already good tasting cake, it's also a CAC certified coin. Which, they just don't give them out when they want to. That is a pretty tough thing to achieve, whether it's a green bean or a gold. However, this one, because of everything together, grade and CAC, sold for $20,000, 250. So $20,250 is quite a huge stepping stone for a coin that could easily benefit from being in a portfolio, a type collection, if a high-end type collection is your thing, or a registry set. This one fills all three of those slots. All right, so we're on to the next denomination. We got nickels. How about 1971 Jefferson nickels? Jefferson nickels has been absolutely amazing again this week. Here we have a mid-state 67 plus full steps. It looks every bit that. It's a very strong, very sharp strike. You don't see a lot of these out there. This one right here, again, custom tailored for a registry set, but it sold for $2,531.25. Keep in mind, do not buy this as an investment because spending $2,500 on a coin this new would turn most people's stomachs. There needs to be a reason. Don't buy this if you're not in a registry set. And here's a 64D. This is a very, very difficult coin and date and mint mark to find with full steps. But yet, here's one graded by NGC. This time, a mid-state 67 5 full stepper. Just based off of the overall appearance of the coin, the first impressions is that, there was some dye deterioration, some mushiness. However, this one just passes the eye test as far as the sharpness of these steps here. So probably at one point those were re-engraved while the rest of the coin was neglected. This one sold for $3,228.75. And a 63D, you can kind of see the big difference here. This coin doesn't really have a whole lot of luster. It's got plenty more of those unsightly planchet nicks. Those were on the planchets before these were struck. However, this one managed to grade out with full steps at 65. Pretty tough. I can't really go either way. Me personally, it's not one that I would want in my registry set. Plus, it's a rather, kind of like middle of the road, love it or hate it type grade to 65 in a coin of this type. Can split some hairs sometimes. But there you go. 63D into 65 sold for $4,162.50. A much tougher date compared to the previous, the 64D, as far as a sharp full strike. And here's a 54. This is a Philadelphia minted example. Again, just like any other 1950s nickel, these generally suffer from quality control issues as well. Okay, the sharpness of the strike sometimes isn't there. You could tell that the obverse hammer die has a little bit more die deterioration than the reverse. Luster's an issue, usually mid-50s nickels. Generally are lacking in the luster department, which kind of, as a coin collector, if you guys like brilliant uncirculated coins, the luster is going to be one of those things that really captivates your attention. So if it's not there, then, sometimes it can be seen as a subpar type of example to add to your collection. But again, when registry sets rule, there are no rules. It just has to be a high-graded coin. CACs do matter. This one is not. And this one sold for $3,690. And here's that 49D. Not a penny. This time it's the nickel. And this one is gorgeous. This is a good-looking coin. Again, registry set material here. If you needed a mid-state example just to put in an album, you can find them for a couple bucks. But this one right here, this one is for a completely different audience. This one is a mid-state 67 plus with full steps, and it looks like that. This particular example sold for $7,031.25. The money just continues to rise at a meteoric level on some of these earlier Jeffersons. And I'd say here is kind of like one of the big examples of the coin that I was talking about. 45D. I mean, what really sets this one apart is that it comes from the silver wartime era of nickels. Okay, that's from 42 to 45. This one is a Denver minted coin. You can see the big D above the dome. This one, however, grades out at just an astronomical mid-state 68 plus full steps. A lot of these silver wartime nickels are generally pretty well struck, so finding one raw with full steps isn't going to be hard at all. This one also has a nice little light swath of kind of like that light yellowish early first progression type toning. And this one, ladies and gentlemen, brought home $14,103. We do have a couple Roosevelt dimes. We're going to start it off on the not proof, not mid-state, but special mid-set 1967 Roosevelt dime. Now, these were generally produced with not much of cameo or ultra cameo appearance to them. Finding one with fully frosted devices are quite difficult. They're a little bit of a challenge. And you know, it is what it is. It's you know, one that's obviously going to go into a registry set. I wouldn't invest in these only because of the secondary market doesn't quite embrace special mid sets as well as some of the other proof coins. This one right here, 69 cameo. I mean, that's a super high end coin right there with cameo frosting. This one right here sold for $2,193.75. Here's a 50S, although this one right here is a much more difficult, like kind of semi-key date. It kind of goes in that same bucket as like the 47S and the 49S. Those are three incredibly tough dates to kind of really, you know, belt out a home run in terms of grade. But this one right here is a 68 full bands. So it's got a really nice, just deep strike on the reverse where you can see those top uninterrupted band splits and so on the bottom as well. Again, registry set coin. Gotta love the toning on the obverse of this one, which I think kind of helped boost this one into otherworldly territory. This one sold for $2,477.25. And it's looking like Roosevelt dimes are beginning to get some secondary market love. Where recently in the last 3 to 6 months, there hadn't been too many examples that really warranted any attention. And the final dime of the list is going to be this nice 1929. Now, it's a Philadelphia minted example, but that doesn't downplay the overall rarity of this coin in high grade, with luster, with a little bit of a tone appearance to it. You know, once you get beyond like 1935 in any mint coin is going to pose a little bit of a challenge. So this one right here can either slot as a investment piece or perhaps a registry set. Registry set Merc dimes are quite big. It has quite an audience because it is one of the most popular obsolete designs in history of U.S. coinage. This one is a 67 plus full split bands. Looks every bit that part. CAC certified, so this one has it all going on. And it sold for $4,055.62. We're going to end it up on two very nice quarters. They're both standing liberties. We have the first one here, a glorious kind of semi-key 1919. This is what dreams are about. You know, you want a coin that is this nice, that is rather exclusive, especially when you get into much higher grades. This one does grade out at a 67 plus. Also note that it does not have full head attributed on there. It doesn't look like it. The head area is quite soft. You don't see an ear hole or anything like that. It is CAC certified, and it's an unbelievably clean example of this like key period type date. What else is there to say? These are as popular as Mercury dimes and standing Liberty halves, or walking Liberty halves rather. So they kind of fit the mold of the coins that you want in any capacity, either as a typeset piece, a really high end one, perhaps an investment piece for a portfolio, or a registry set. You can't really go wrong with either. This one sold for $7,200. Just a really wild, crazy sale. Beautiful coin, worth every single dollar. And then finally, we're going to end it off on a big variety. This is the overdate that everybody looks for, although finding one in this condition is somewhat of a pipe dream. These don't come up in grades above AG that often, where, it's uncherry picked. So this one right here, I mean, you can't really mistake it. It's 1918 over 7, and they're all San Francisco coins. You're not going to find these on Philadelphia's. But you could see that other 7. You could see the bottom vertical 7 bar that goes through the 8. This is the one right here. It's in a red book, Cherry Picker's Guide. It's all over the place. And it's one that you definitely either want to own one of. It's like the 55 Lincoln double die. It's a coin that you have to own to really appreciate. This one is the VF30. It's also CAC stickered, which also matters a great deal. And, not bad for a VF30. It sold for $5,737.50. Just an absolute amazing amount of money for this grade. That kind of, gives you a little prelude of what a coin like this would sell for if it was, say, an AU50 or a Mid-State 63. And it doesn't necessarily have to have full head. You just need that overdate, and it's game over, right? You can officially retire from the sport of numismatics. But that's going to go ahead and do it, guys. I want to thank you for joining in on this edition of the Monday Market Report for the week ending December 5th, 2021. I'm your host, Sean, with Blue Ridge Silverhound. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. If you enjoyed today's content, hit the dislike button if you don't. But Coinaholics, that's going to go ahead and do it. Stay tuned for our live coin Q&A show that goes on tonight, 5:30 Pacific, 8:30 Eastern. And again, that's on our YouTube channel. Live coin Q&A. Come on and join us. Say hi. If you have coin questions, go ahead and email us at info@livecoinqa.com. We look forward to seeing you. You guys take care. Have a great week, and I'll see you on the next coin video.